Welcome to BMI's webinar series. Today, we are going to be talking all about Zoho One and some of the new UI and new updates that are along with it. My name is Jason. I will be your host for today. So our topic today revolves around Zoho One's new UI and updates, which is called ZO25 or 2025 or Zoho 25, depending on how you want to read it. But ultimately, it's all going to start with Zoho One and then talk about some of the new things that are within it as well. So if you're not familiar with Zoho One at all, don't worry. We're going to cover a little bit about what Zoho One is unto itself. That way you've got a good starting point. So starting from the beginning, let's talk about what Zoho One is in general. It's more fundamental, especially more than ever, that all of your software speaks and connects seamlessly. Your business has to operate at maximum efficiency and provide a consistent, pleasant experience for your customers. The tolerance, or at least my tolerance, and I think I speak for a large portion of people, the tolerance the market has and most people have for siloed communications or information, it's at an all-time low, and it continues to get lower. People's patience is worn thin, and the number of tabs you got to go through, ridiculous. Just look at the most common example. I think everybody's experienced this at one point or another. Tech support. Call, you wait in the queue, which is already not a great mood booster. You're sitting online for however knows how long. And you finally get a hold of a tech. You explain the problem, and he goes, okay, perfect. Let me transfer you to this other department. The very next thing you have to do after waiting on hold again is re-explain everything because their systems don't communicate in real time. And one tech's notes aren't shared with another. Another example, you get a customer service rep who doesn't have your account information on hand, and so doesn't treat you like the Gold Star VIP that you are. This is very common at two particular places, airports and golf clubs. You're getting mistreated because that information's siloed. The people who are in your business treating your customers don't have all the information they need. In any business scenario, the data that your sales team, your service team, your customer support team, your accounting team, your HR team, your marketing team, your executive team, and every other team that you possibly have needs to be available easily and quickly. Hence, why Zoho matters, why Zoho 25 matters, and why the new UI matters. If your CRM and sales data takes days or weeks to get to accounting, invoicing is delayed, customers are unhappy, accounting is unhappy, executive is unhappy. If it takes forever for marketing to get to sales, if it takes forever for HR to get back to your sales team, any delays cause problems, cause ununified experiences, and ultimately your customers suffer. Hence the problem that Zoho One seeks to solve, a unified platform for all facets of your business to operate on, such that there is no data siloing, no clunky integrations, no need to email data from one place to another or go searching for anywhere that you can find it. Its name is its purpose. One place for everything, one software for your business. In that context, Zoho has brought massive upgrades to the Zoho One UI, all under a simple premise: make the data come to you. Gone are the days of app swapping, searching multiple sources to find what you need, struggling to remember where you put that file, trying to remember the keywords in your inbox. Zoho One's new UI is designed to make the system work for you, as it should, and to maximize your productivity by bringing everything to you contextually in a single spot. It seems like it should be really obvious or self-explanatory that apps should do this, but so many apps struggle to do this or fail to do this or are siloed that Zoho One's power really suddenly starts to shine. So today we'll see exactly what that means as we get going. But if you're on this webinar and you have 10 other tabs open of your business softwares on screen right now, like I do, guilty as charged, or you need these tabs to run your business, it's time to reclaim control of your tabs and your organization and use the tool to start making your life much less hectic. As a sneak preview, here are some of the things that you should keep an eye out for as takeaways: an overview of the new ZO25, Spaces, what they are, how to use them. Dashboards, widgets, layouts, figuring out what those are and how to use them. And really critically in these days, security updates to help keep your data and your business safe. We'll also cover some real world examples and how to use them so that you have real context for not just building things in a vacuum or theory crafting them, but such that you're able to look at these things in the context of what it might mean for your business and how to implement it. Don't forget to stick around for our Q&A at the end. We'll open it up for all the questions that you have. And if you have any questions throughout, in the dash bar at the bottom, there's a little chat box, and there is a questions tab or a questions module in there. Feel free to throw those in there. And we've got a couple of team members who are hiding in the wings, myself, Shubham, and a few others who will be able to answer those questions or get you those answers if we don't have them offhand. So don't wait until the end necessarily. Throw them all in there, and then we can take care of that. Now, without further ado, let's turn it over to our Director of Customer Service, Zach, who's going to take us through the live walkthrough, introduce things, and get us some real-world examples. Zach, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. All right. I'm going to share my screen here, and I just need some thumbs up if you can see it. Hopefully that's working. That's going to be critical. Good. All right. Excellent. So I'm going to proceed from there. So what you're looking at is nothing new. This is the standard Zoho One UI right now. I just wanted, we got to start from here though. Maybe some of you have already switched to the new Spaces UI, but you could see actually there's a message at the top here that's prompting me to switch it. Or just on the left-hand panel, you can see the try new Spaces UI, and sometimes that diamond starts to flash, trying to get your attention, basically. So right away here, it's kind of giving you this. This is actually really nice. There's a very quick video to just sort of give you an idea of it, and then all of the new updates in there. I'm going to go through pretty much most of these here. So let's just jump in right now. So it's just going to load, take a second to load here. And right away, you can see the dashboard. Actually, this is the exact same dashboard, except they've already added new components in there. I'm going to come back to dashboards, but I want to start with Spaces. And the Spaces is really just this top bar up here. I mean, this is the biggest change, is everything's kind of moved up top, and you've got all the different spaces. I'm going to go left to right and cover all of these, and then just go into some in depth a little bit more. But you can see, like right off the bat, we've got the default spaces, because a lot of this is customizable, are the personal and organization, and then it's going to land on maybe one of these sort of departmental spaces here. So each of these actually has a different group of apps, and they've kind of renamed some of them because they're trying to rename it in terms of how you're actually using it, practicability or practicability, whatever that word is. Hopefully you know what I'm trying to say. I can change the different, with this arrow here, I can change whichever department or group of apps. You could think of these as groups too, or really they're just spaces of apps. I can create a new space. I can manage spaces. I will get into that in a second. We can reorder some of this here. It's really tailored to, like Jason's saying, unify a lot of things, but then there's also some customization at play. And they've been changed. This has been out for, I think, over a week or just about 2 weeks now. And they've already made some changes to it. They're going to keep going. So it's exciting the directions they're going to go. So right away here in the personal space, you can see some of the additions here. There's some of these apps, they don't all have them. I think, see, Calendar and Click won't have it. But there's this little drop down arrow. And all it's telling you is there's actually more options to choose from. And the home dashboard, for example, I've got actually options to add analytics dashboards right in here instead of just the home dashboard. I'm going to keep that there. I think not work drive tasks. Mail is another one of these that has a lot of drop downs here. This is actually I guess maybe hidden as project, or they've really clumped a lot of these together here to streamline this. Because if I press this arrow down, I can actually look at what was previously Zoho Mail tasks, or I could switch over to Zoho Projects tasks, or Zoho Sprints if you guys are using Sprints or Agile project management. I think the integrated tasks is this another split from Zoho Mail that kind of clumps things by by different Zoho apps. You can see Mail, Project, CRM, Connect, People in there, and then another one here. So that's some of the changes to some of these apps. Otherwise, you're going to recognize a lot of these: Calendar, Click, Mail, and if I keep going, and I'm going to talk about Vani in a minute. So don't worry, I'm purposely skipping it. We can actually change the order. I actually want to make sure people saw what I was doing there. There's this edit module, sort of, it looks like a controls button here. We've got options that I can turn off or hide, whichever apps that maybe aren't so relevant, or I don't need to look at, or if I want to keep this UI as clean as possible, I don't necessarily need to keep them in here. Or I could turn some on, and I can also reorder them. So maybe I want to actually have mail before click, or tasks before click, and maybe move Vault to the end, or something like that. And it'll reorder everything there for you, so that you can, again, clean up what you want your UI to look like, and streamline things from there. Organization is, I think this is more where you're going to see those org-based apps like Zoho Connect, and I think Zoho Learn's embedded in here. And then we've got the, like I said, departmental apps. If I went into the IT space, for instance, I'm going to see all the apps that are really relevant to the IT team. And then, of course, I think I've got all of them up there right now, so I haven't hidden any. And so I think this one's pretty self-explanatory in terms of the department names. Again, I'll get into some customization, because maybe it's like services, or you're looking at sales or finance or legal, and you're like, well, I don't necessarily have a legal department, but it's trying to clump the apps into the appropriate spaces. You can see contracts and sign under legal. If you were in here before and you're like, where's Writer? Where's my spreadsheets? How do I book a meeting? That's actually that small square here, tools, and you can see all of these apps that don't really belong in a departmental space. And then they didn't want to clutter the organization or the personal space either. So they've actually thrown the tools in here. And I'm just going to park here for a minute, because they've got some cool little things here that may or may not be relevant to people. So I'm just going to try to go high level here. But in this tools option here, we've got mobile apps, and it's actually showing a list of all of the Zoho apps that you can download on your mobile device. If I click Work Drive, for instance, and go to download, I could actually copy a link from either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Copy a link, I could send that to somebody if they needed help with that, or I could copy it, send it to myself, type of thing. If I went right to I could click on the app and go right to the mobile app website that's designed for that Zoho app. Some of the probably most popular ones are going to be CRM and Work Drive. That's basically shuffling files around from one device to another. Kind of cool there. The other thing at the bottom here is now browser extensions. If I go in there, it's going to show me a list of all the browser extensions, compatible browser extensions with all of the Zoho apps. One of our favorite ones is Zoho Vault here. If I click on install, I can actually see, I can choose which browser I want to go immediately be taken to the extension store or extension page, so I can download that right away. You can see at the top here, I actually have the Vault extension. I have Zoho Annotator, that's your screenshots and screen share, and then Zoho Bookings up there as well. So I've already got a few extensions. So I thought that was kind of neat that you could just grab them from here. The other thing I'm going to note here is if I go into, I'm going to go back into personal spaces and this edit module setting. The other thing here, and this is just to sort of help with change management. If I go to navigation settings up in the top right here, I can actually choose which layout or UI I actually want. Right now I'm on top, but if I go to left navigation, there's actually some familiarity here, because now they've put all of the apps on the left-hand side, but we've still got the spaces UI at the top here. I'll just show you what that looks like. It actually loads instantly. So you can see in the personal space there, and I've got all my apps on the sides. And you can see that what it's done here is there's these static settings right from Zia Search and onwards. These are the Zoho spaces that icons that don't ever change. Then they just add the apps settings up in this top bar as well. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. If I go to the compact version, this is actually what I have on my laptop, because it actually maximizes all of the space up here. And then I could just choose, if I could just go down here, I could choose which space I want to go to, or I could just find the app right here, type it in, go to CRM, and it'll take me to CRM directly there. And then you'll see all of the CRM options sort of pop up in the top UI there. So I'm going to go back to the default, which is top, because that might be where most people go. And I thought that was worth showing, at least, again, to help with that change management there. And going again, continuing from left to right, the next icon here is the Zia search. See, there we go. Just wanted it to pop up so you could see where I'm talking about. This isn't too different. I think they actually had something like this before. If you didn't use it then, you should probably start using it now. This is exactly why they wanted to get the UI into one place with all the Zoho apps. This is where you can search something, whatever it is you're looking for. If it's a file, if it's a name, if it's an email, and you're like, well, did I email in desk? Did I email it in mail? Was it actually a click message? Whatever it is, you don't have to go searching. You could just say, maybe it was, well, I know who I was talking to. It was John Doe. If I search John Doe, Zia is going to look across every app here that we're connected to. It's going to show me some tickets in desk. It's going to show me some records in CRM, or maybe it was a books invoice or something like that where I've got John Doe in there. So it's a pretty cool. I just imagine with AI, this is just going to get more and more robust in here. So just wanted to highlight that. One of the new ones is the quick nav. So if I hover over it, it's that lightning bolt. It actually tells me that I could open up with just the keyboard. If I click it, it's going to have something pop open like this. And I'm just going to do the keyboard now. Z or Z, depending on which side of the border you're on, and space will open that up. And now you can use just your keyboard to navigate. So if I press my arrow key, it says go to the right to apps. You can also click it with your mouse, but I'm just going to go with my arrows here. I went too far. I can actually go and start finding apps just with my keyboard here and switch to apps very quickly if I wanted to go to my inbox right away here. The other thing that's really neat about it, and I imagine this is going to get more robust, is if I do something like new mail, I might actually have to go tab mail. Oh. Let's see here. Oh, this was working earlier, I swear. Well, if I wanted to start what I was trying to show is if I can, I could actually go right to creating a new message in my inbox. So I'm going to switch to something else. If I go to tickets, it's actually going to take me not only to the app, but it'll take me to the specific module in the app. And that's what I was trying to show. So right now I could have gone to the knowledge base. I could have clicked the knowledge base in there. Here's the other neat one that's maybe going to be more relevant for maybe salespeople, is if I want to create a new lead. I'm going to scroll up here in CRM. So that's what I wanted to see there. Create a lead. It's going to take me to that new lead page, or basically whatever module it is. But so maybe you just want to get somebody's name and number really quickly without interrupting your work. So you could just very quickly navigate to this space here, save the lead, and then just continue on where you're going very quickly without having to click into the CRM and then click into the leads module and then click new lead. It basically saves you a bunch of looking around for things. So that's a cool new feature that they've got here now. I'm going to move on to the action panel. If I click on that, that's that calendar looking icon. Right away, it's showing me this is the Zoho. Some of this is the Zoho people UI. This is how I could clock in and clock out, or I could be available or unavailable for that. It's going to have my timer there if that's what you're using. It shows me what's coming up. What can I look forward to? What's on my to-do list for today? I could go later in the week. There's another tab here for approvals. What's waiting for me to take action? Maybe there's something internally I need to approve somebody's timesheets, or maybe sign a document or something like that. Somebody's waiting for me. You can see it goes down by app here. If I click settings, I can clean up what I want it to show me and what I don't want it to show me, and filter some things out there. So that one's a kind of neat, a new feature there. I'm going to skip directory because it's bigger. I'm going to come right back to it and just show these new changes in the new profile. Like this is your profile picture. It could be your initials or whatever in there, but just some change. This whole box here is new. Right at the top, we could actually, again, clock in and clock out. You can see the timer starting there if you've got that set up in Zoho People. This is actually Zoho People, this entire line. If I wanted to just, instead of going to go to Zoho People, go to the leave management, I could actually just apply a leave, some kind of leave or vacation right here from within that profile. I could select, yeah, I want to go on vacation here. And I actually want to go on for the rest of December after this webinar type of thing. You submit that and that goes right. If this is what you have set up in Zoho People, of course, to manage, it's very seamless that way. The one on the bottom here is the click status. This is actually sort of a universal status for all of your apps. If you just wanted to clock out for a minute, maybe go take lunch, or you needed to move somewhere remotely or something like that, you could change your status here as needed. And then so people don't bug you. The other one here is specifically for Zoho Desk, and then this is Sales IQ. And I could actually, maybe I'm signing out for the weekend, or I am going on my leave. I would actually just toggle once, and then in all of the Zoho apps, I'm signed off. It's not going to assign me Zoho tickets, or sorry, desk tickets anymore. It's not going to route live chats to me anymore. And when I come back from vacation, I just say, no, I'm back, and then it's going to sign me back in. Or I could say, you know, I'm going to be available, but with limited availability. Maybe you just want to be modular and say, no, just make me busy for Sales IQ chats, live chats, but I want to keep receiving emails in the round robin rule in Zoho Desk, for instance, in there. So I thought that was so convenient there for us. Still showing you your Zoho One. You can see in our demo account here, we've got 2 users and when our renewal is, it's got information on there. A couple of things, start a tour for Zoho One, just to sort of review. Maybe you've forgotten some things, you could take a look at there. If you were like, nope, this is too much too soon, we can always switch back to the old version. So that's where that setting is. If you found your way into Spaces and you're like, I just want to get out for a minute, I'll come back to it later, this is how you can switch to the old version. I really encourage you to jump in with both feet. It's the best way to start learning things. And then this is a really important one, the ZO25 feature feedback. This goes directly to Zoho, and they're waiting for it. Like they listen to this, they read all this stuff. Please send them feedback. They need it because they need everybody's collaboration on how this is going to work out for everybody. And I think that's kind of all I really wanted to show on the profiles there. Moving on to directory, this is where I think maybe you guys wanted to see some things, because I want to start on apps. There's the standard, there's a few, I'm going to skip a few of these because they're standard in directory. The directory is a whole other Zoho app that I would encourage you to look at. I'm going to skip down to applications because this is where we can do our space management. I think this is the thing that's, if there's one takeaway of here, maybe 2, it would be dashboards and then playing around with the spaces. So right away in the first column, I've got all applications. I can see all of my applications by alphabetical order, and I can see which spaces they're assigned to, and I can assign them to other spaces as well. So maybe I don't want analytics just in the IT space. Maybe I also want to add it to my personal space. So I'm just going to add it in there as well. Maybe I want to add one of the tools, like I do a lot of spreadsheets, so I'm going to add Zoho Sheets to that personal space as well. This is where you can start really customizing things. Maybe you don't want to call it your personal space. Maybe you want to call it something else. So I'll rename it here to Zach Space. So now it's Zach Space. It's not personal space anymore. And then from here, if you wanted to reorder some things from this screen, you could. So I could just say, okay, you know what? I want to move work drive down, actually, in terms of up and down, left to right is how this works here. And that's how you could start reordering some things as well. And there's some customization. Then, of course, you can get right to, I think it's so here's the spaces that you can't see on here. It's just because they don't want to cram everything onto this. They want to, again, try to keep it as focused as possible. Create a space. I could call it, you know, whatever space I wanted to. You don't have to just use the ones they've given you. Those are just the defaults. And I could add all kinds of apps in here. You can find CRM apps, but you can also find some of your creator apps in here as well. They're not just limited to Zoho apps. If you've created apps in Creator for your organization, you can actually throw them into this space as well. I'm going to close this and then just maybe go to the IT space. The other thing you can do is delegate. You can have manage admins. You can actually add an admin or admins to the different spaces so that they're the ones that are managing their spaces. Maybe, you know, services wants to rename whatever they want it to, and you have somebody actually managing that for the entire organization on your behalf in there. And then I think the last thing I wanted to show is you can reorganize the order of spaces in general here. So if you wanted to move organization down and IT up, you could do that. And maybe you wanted to move sales up to a little bit further as well. Oh, not quite. So this is just a little bit buggy here, but I think you're getting the point, is that I can start moving and shuffling the spaces around. So if I close this, you can see that it's renamed Zach's space there. I anticipated this. Analytics is not here, even though you saw me add it in there. So I just wanted to very quickly prove that it did work and show you. I took a screenshot of mine, but you can see in my personal space, and I just kept it as personal space just so you could see that this is the one. But you could see I've got desk, I've got CRM, I've got meetings, which is a tool, and then books in there as well. So just wanted to show that I know they're working on this, and I know it's going to work eventually, but that you can actually customize all of these. You don't just have to use the defaults. And that was the big thing that I wanted to show with that part of the directory. I'm going to go back into the directory here. I imagine there's going to be a lot of fun navigating with this stuff here. I'm going to skip users and admins, and I'm going to go right down to integrations. And this is to me is so cool, the stuff that we're getting into now, because this is just sort of proof that what they're doing is really trying to unify all of the Zoho apps here. Right from the directory, like right from your home panel in the directory, you can see all of the integrations. And this is just sort of, I'll go through the tabs at the top here, but this is the high level of like, what do you have? What kind of integrations do you have? What are the most recent ones that have fired, as well as all the flows you have with Zoho Flow? And then it's even recommending a few that you don't have in here. So that's what that home page is doing. And then if I go into the integrations tab, it's showing me all of the Zoho apps that can integrate with other Zoho apps. Also click to CRM because this is probably one of the most popular. Showing me all of the integrations that I have currently in here. And then instead of going to Zoho CRM or even to desk or whatever, and again, going into the settings in the developer space and et cetera, to find this stuff, I can manage the integration all from here. It's just more windows are popping up so that you can start manipulating how your apps are behaving all from within really, I mean, I'm still in just the one window. It's just all these pop-up windows are coming up here. Available integration showing me what I didn't realize I could integrate, what apps aren't turned on. I'm not too sure what pending actions are. Maybe someone who understands integrations can understand that, but you've got quite a bit of stuff in here. Going back to the top, the entire Zoho Flow interface is now also embedded in here as well. Don't need to go to Zoho Flow. Just come to directory and into the integration space, and you can see all of you can see there's a lot of test flows in here. And then, of course, I can go to Marketplace to find anything third-party, you know, ChatGPT integration, for instance, with Zoho Desk, et cetera, et cetera. So that's I think, yeah, this is where we're sort of moving into some really cool unification. And then this is portals. Portals is the next thing here, one of the newest ones here. This is where we're managing. You've got a portal for Zoho Books. You've got a portal for Zoho Projects. You've got a portal for Recruit, CRM, etc. There's lots of portals in the different Zoho apps. They're trying to add a unification of all of that management happening here. And Zoho Creator. So all of your creator, you can manage the users in all of your creator apps as well. This tab at the top here is clients, where I can start managing and adding clients. The apps is going to show me, okay, well, which app do I want to add a portal for? There's all of the creator apps. If you have any creator apps that you've added to your organization, plus, you know, any of the apps that have portals right now. And then a few of these tabs are customized, how you can customize this portal, how you want it to look, other settings on there, etc. This is something I imagine they're just going to start like just releasing more and more and more on. And this is, I don't know, this is one of the things I'm most excited for. More for convenience as well. We've got domains. We can look at the domains across all of the Zoho apps. For example, I'm just going to go into BMI demos, but you can see right away at a high level, it's verified, but it's not authenticated. So I'm just going to click in there. And it's going to tell me, oh, well, here's the steps that I need to do to complete this domain so that it's 100% set up in here. And I could go to that wizard in that complete setup in here. Just in this top tab, again, moving left to right here, it's actually showing me which Zoho apps that domain has been added to. So right now I can see it's in people and mail only. I can't from here tell where I can add it to another app. I think you still need to go in each app and add the domain and authenticate it that way, but it's still showing you, again, it's showing you at least where these things are. And I guess a little bit more information specific. This is the Zoho Mail admin panel. I think this is the UI they've kind of embedded in here, but then they've also updated it and significantly simplified it as well. I think the next thing I want to talk about is security. So if you're familiar with, oh, you wouldn't be familiar with this page. It's this. So standard, this is part of the original Zoho one. Was you got your standard policies. I think that it always has a default policy with MFA and password management. And this is sort of the standard stuff. What's brand new, though, is the Security 2.0. And this tab here, I would encourage you to go here at some point, like sooner, probably sooner rather than later, because security is like, it's never anyone's priority until it becomes somebody's priority. And hopefully it's not too late. So there's a video to watch, or there's some things to read. You could actually view some of the guides too. So, you know, audio or visual learner. And then that sandbox, you can actually test it out here. So that's what I'm going to do. And then there's the, you know, where you can make the switch too. So this is what the new Security 2.0 looks like. One of the biggest things is a conditional assignment. And conditional assignment essentially if this condition, then these things happen. So here's an example. This is what I want to show here. So I'm just going to call this test for the sake of time. I've got 3 actions to choose from for now. And it's basically deny access or allow with MFA authentication or allow access. So if I said, I want to set up conditions where I want to deny access, then it's going to tell me, well, what conditions are those? Is it certain countries are not allowed to log in? Like if somebody was in another country, they cannot log into this system. Do we want to restrict it to an IP address? Which IP addresses cannot be, are blocked from this? Or which days of the week do we not want to allow people, time of day, and which devices can they, and then even, I think it's browsers, or is it platform, OS platforms? So there's a lot of settings that we can do in here. And then conversely, of course, you can say only allow from these countries, only allow from these IP addresses, or these devices, these days of the week, and these times of day type of thing. So that conditional access that's pretty cool. Routing policies, I believe this is where you're creating groups for where these specific policies apply to specific people. I don't know a whole lot about some of these other ones here. All I know is that if you're working with, maybe you have a company software or ERP or something that has some sort of authentication or protocol, I think you can connect them that way. I think that's what it's trying to say here. So let's just see here. I think Radius is the next one. I mean, there's quite a few in here. I think LDAP isn't newer. It might be, but Radius is for sure newer. Again, just high level on this. It's just to tell you more so that this exists, is that you can basically connect your company's Wi-Fi to your Zoho account so that instead of giving out your company Wi-Fi password or access on an individual level, you just assign it to somebody's Zoho login. So this is really great for onboarding and offboarding, because you're just making it conditional so that if somebody gets their login for their Zoho account, then you're saying now they have access to our Wi-Fi. If you offboard that person and you offboard or you disable their login in Zoho One, you've also disabled their login for your Wi-Fi. So it's pretty neat that they're sort of piggybacking off each other, connecting it that way. I don't want to skip it. I just want to highlight it because there's a lot in here, but the reports, this is maybe, I don't know, it's your IT manager, or maybe the owner wants to just take a look and see what activity has been happening, who's been using MFA, who's been logging in, where have they been logging in. You can start generating reports from here. And then of course, a really nice thing, the anomaly detection. So you set this up, and then it's going to try its best to learn what it can expect, but then try to detect signals or monitor for security threats in there. So you could enable that to automate, and it just tells you what you can do, the kinds of things that you can do with it. Pretty neat. So that's directory in a nutshell. It's a very high level directory. There's so much in there, but I did want to come back to, and just for the sake of time here, come back to dashboards, because they've made some changes in here, and some of these are pretty cool. But this dashboard, if you're not using it, this is the second thing that I would encourage you. Spaces is the first one, and setting up your spaces, and then the second one is create a dashboard for yourself. Create a relevant dashboard, because it's your cross-app mission control. You don't just have to go into each app like CRM. You can see that I've got something from books. I've got something from inventory. I can't remember what this one is. Invoices maybe, and then maybe some CRM data, mail. What is all the mail that's coming in here? I can add. Oh wait, no. Let's go to edit first. So cool little thing here. I can totally make a mess of things. I could, oh no, what have I done? Well, just click auto arrange, and then it's gonna fix it all for you. I think for now, auto arrange is just gonna set it up in like a default way. I don't think it doesn't like make things look nice. It's just gonna like put things back to where they originally were. So just heads up on that one. But you can delete some things in here and manipulate, like I was just showing you there. But I think this is the coolest thing here. So one, I add a widget. Some of this should be, again, the UI is different, but this is the same things that they kind of had before, as I could choose, well, which sort of widgets do I want to appear in here from, the different spaces. But the other thing is I could either create one. The create one is basically you could just choose from, and you'd have to know your app pretty well. But if you know the app pretty well, like for all leads, for example, from the Zoho CRM, you wanted to pull in a custom view that way, you could do that. The other cool thing is maybe you're already deep into Zoho Analytics, and you want to. You've got a dashboard in there, and you're like, well, great. And I'm going to have my Zoho Home dashboard and my Analytics dashboard. And I did show you earlier, you could choose which one you wanted to look at, but you could do both too. If you have your permalink for that Zoho Analytics dashboard or component that you have in there, and while it loads here, I'm just going to call, what was this? I think timesheets for my demo here. I'm just going to call it timesheets. But it's giving you a preview of what this is going to look like in here. And this is actually directly from Zoho Analytics that I'm able to add into my dashboard. And let me see, there it is. So it's already been added in here. I'm going to drag it up here so you can sort of see the reordering of it here. I'm going to drag it up at the top here and save it. I know if I hit auto arrange, it's going to go right back down again. So that's why I didn't. But I just very crudely shoved it in there. But you could see that I can actually interact with this. I can, as if Zoho Analytics, that dashboard has been directly embedded into this Zoho One dashboard here. So I can filter by status. I can scroll in here. I can click on these to expand them. I forgot to show that too, actually. If I wanted to look at this a little bit bigger, I could expand the actual widget. It's going to take a second to load. So I don't have to cram it in there. I can just say, okay, no, give me a little bit more space. So while you're looking at this, you can look at all of these other things again. It's like we're getting closer to that, what I've heard Jason refer to as the margarita dashboard. The concept being you can see the entirety of the status of your business in one hand, and you could be holding anything else, a margarita or something else in your other hand, so that you're really just looking at one spot to find all of the information, the data that you need in there. So that's the new dashboard in a nutshell. I'd encourage you to test that out. I just thought that analytics thing was the coolest thing ever, and can't wait to see what they come up with next. I'm going to go, as we wrap up, I'm almost done. I just wanted to go over a few of the new apps. I had mentioned Vani before. There's about 4 new apps, I think, as of, I mean, they could have released four more apps in the time that I just said. There's 4 apps now, but for now, I'll just show that Vani. Vani is your whiteboard, flowchart, or visual collaboration tool. You can actually get an entire team on here. I'm just going to talk about it while it loads. That you could have more than one person sort of contributing to a space or a flow chart or planning something out. You can see first of all, they're just sort of giving you a demo of everything that you can do in this space. So you could have lists, you could have blocks. I could actually take this and I could, drag it to a brand new shape, something like that, and start connecting pieces. You can get on a video call with people while you do this. If you get a lot, you can see there's a lot of stuff going on in here. I've got like a little mini map where I can zoom in and out, and again, just sort of showing you this. If you're used to flowchart tools, this is Zoho's flowchart tool now that they've added in here. I didn't want to go, this isn't a deep dive in all these. I just wanted to highlight them. So that's Vani. The other one is, I think actually there's 2 here in marketing. Convenient, it's right there. One of them is LandingPage, and then the other is Thrive. So LandingPage, it's a landing page. Create a landing page and then get analytics for what happens on that landing page. Where are people coming from? Where are they going after they go there? This is your tool to start connecting maybe your website with other Zoho apps or Zoho tools, or just if you're already all in with Zoho and you're in sites, you've got a specific landing page maybe for specific events, like what are they called? Trade shows or something like that, like events that come up where you're like, well, whatever I'm collecting in there, I want to create a specific landing page for it. We could do it in minutes here. You could choose from some of these predefined templates in here, just plug your information in and then make sure you got the hyperlinks going and you're off to the races there. So got that for marketing. And then Thrive's cool. It's your loyalty or points program. So this is like to incentivize growth within your, maybe new customers or existing customers in here. For example, you can create incentivize people for doing things that you want them to do. Leave a review or become a member of a portal or something, and it's going to give you points. And then you can say these points, you can redeem them for things, products, services, whatever you want to do, however you want to manage it for your business that way. The last newest app, it's actually in the IT, right? I reordered these things. IT is the next space here. It is RPA. I don't really know how to describe RPA other than you can program basically an automatic robot to do repetitive tasks. So it's almost like a workflow, except you're kind of programming a bot to just, I think it can, I don't know the extent of it. I would take a look at it. The IT guys are probably really excited about this one. I know our IT guys are. We're looking at, if you're doing repetitive things like click here, drag it down to this folder, now click this one, drag it down to this folder, you can teach it that workflow and then schedule it and it'll start doing that so that you don't. It's really awesome for saving on admin. The boundaries to this, I think, are limitless to the extent of how far they're going to go in here, integration with AI and such things. So those are the new apps. So wrapping up here, I think, again, just to circle back, I know I said it a couple of times, that our whole goal here is to just maybe give you a little bit of incentive or encouragement, not necessarily incentive, encouragement to explore what's brand new here. Maybe just some really low effort first steps here. I think eventually the Spaces UI is gonna be the default and sort of the old one. They're just gonna phase it out. No dates on that, no problem, no idea if that's actually what they're going to do. I think they're trying to move more towards unification. So jump in now, sooner rather than later. Like I said, explore and set up apps. add users, add some admins to those spaces, and then set up a simple dashboard for yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I think we wanted to move into Q&A. I'm not too sure who's posting that, if it's, let's see if there's actually questions in here.
Well, if we're moving to Q&A, first, thank you very much, Zach. I think, let's see here. There we go. Yeah, so I think we can move into Q&A. Any questions that you've got, throw them in there. We'll be hanging out and answering those questions, and any of the questions that come in that are worthwhile answering live, we can take care of. But otherwise, thank you very much. That is the overview for Zoho 25. I know that the number of tabs going from 10 or 12 down to 1 is extremely liberating in terms of being able to keep control of the desktop and have, you know, instead of having 25 tabs open, have 2 or 3, and all of them mean something, all of them relevant, all of them bringing data to us. So we will leave the Q&A open for the next sort of few minutes here. We'll see if any of the questions pop in, if anybody wants to deep dive into anything deeper or has some specific questions. But otherwise, thank you very much for attending. Have a great rest of your day, guys.